took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. 180. Here we go. Here we go. Cut.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Mostert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
21.
On first down, Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. In the last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season, really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington.
Here we go.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Mostert. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
11.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked them, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback who's scrambling around actually takes off and runs downfield, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Mike 47. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 47 is the mic. 47 is the mic.
Again on second and 10, it's Jackson. That'll be caught by Cobb. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 14. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Quan Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Jackson now. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Garoppolo out wide here to Samuel. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run in the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ingram again, a first down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson will get this one to Cobb, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Cooper Kupp with touchdown number 12 on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be fielded at the 6. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now on 2nd and 13, Garoppolo.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
I'm coming for you.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Kill. Go. Kill. Turn up.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point? Whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more. 15
for the Niners there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
This is Mostert. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo, the first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards, first down Niners.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And it's caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. It's Coleman here. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gold with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. D Ford in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half. Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
56 to Mike, boys, 56.
Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
56. Mike, 56. 56.
Jackson from the shotgun. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Focus, defense, focus.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He finds Coleman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Check, 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 check. Check 52. Big ass, big ass, big ass.
Now Mostert. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
To throw is Garoppolo. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Watch twist. 21. Here we go.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let him know.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back now in Baltimore. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter.
Hey, Wood. Hey, gun.
And the blitz does come. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
At the 29-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson. Throw left side, complete to Cup. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
From the gun, Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
I'm going back to you. I got you.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Niners on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
One, Omaha. Let's go. Here we go. Check. Hey, high 7. Man out.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 11-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
We got this.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 21-yard line.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Baltimore, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.